Yo, what's good? My name is Reginald, aka the R-Star, aka Mr. Straightfire, and this is Unabashedly Reggie's Smackdown recap for February 21st, 2017. Now let me start off with this. I haven't watched Talking Smack, which is about to run in a few minutes. So if whatever happens there, I'm not going to be able to comment on that. But on Talking Smack, you're going to have Becky Lynch, AJ Styles, and the Usos, who cut one hell of a promo tonight. So let's start off with the first segment. The first segment is Daniel Bryan comes out and, he talks about how it's the road to WrestleMania, and then he invites Naomi to the ring. And then he goes on and saying about how he'll have to do something he doesn't want to do, something that reminds him of himself when he had to retire. And because he and Shane McMahon, they went over the medicals, and Naomi is not going to be cleared to compete within the next 30 days. Therefore, she is not going to be able to defend a title, so she'll have to relinquish the title. That is sad. And also, one thing is, when Naomi came out, when she was in the ring, she got a "You deserve it" chant. Once again, I think it's like the third time. I mean, she really deserved it, but she has to give up the title. And she got a really heartfelt promo. She said about how things changed so fast in the WWE, how she was at the top of the mountain at Elimination Chamber, and from that, the view from the mountain was really sweet, and now she's crying once again. So she has to relinquish the title. That's sad. And then she leaves, and Alexa Bliss comes out, and she's like, oh, that was great. Of course, she's really pouring the salt in the wounds. And the crowd, I think it was a problem with the mic, so the crowd couldn't hear her. And they were screaming like, we can't hear you. And she is so great at ad-libbing. She was like, who cares, you can't hear me, just shut up. And the crowd got even louder and louder, and what. And props to Alexa Bliss. She was not rattled. Because I remember Charlotte at some point, sometimes, she was starting, but when the crowd would get really loud and making a lot of noise, she would get rattled. But Alexa didn't get rattled. So she's like, well, Bryan, the easiest thing you have to do is just to give me the title. And Bryan, what he does is like, you're right, because you used to be the champion and now the title's vacant. You're going to get your championship, but you're going to have to defend it tonight. And the music hits, and it's Becky Lynch. So starting off SmackDown, we have a SmackDown Women title championship. That is why SmackDown is must-see TV. It's just so much better than Raw. Like, so much better. Like, it seems like every segment you have to watch it. So, first is a title match. And Becky Lynch, she got a lot of offense the whole time, I would say. Alexa barely did anything. But at the end, Alexa, she was on her back, she pulled the ring apron, and the ref had to go fix it, and while the ref was fixing it, she eye gouged Becky Lynch, and then roll up and pin. And she won the title. I was like this? It was a little flat. And also, Becky Lynch, how many times she get her eye gouged? Like, it seems that it happens every time now. But Alexa wins, 2-time SmackDown champion. I think she is the first 2-time champion? Yeah, I think so. Might be wrong. And while Becky is pissed, then you have Mickie James that comes out and try to attack Mickie, but Becky gets the best out of Mickie. The next segment, you have a Battle Royal promos. You have Ambrose, Kalisto. Funny thing, Kalisto was like, oh yeah, it is my dream to headline WrestleMania. I will headline WrestleMania. Like, I did not believe that. Who the hell believed that? And you have The Miz, who cut a great promo as well. Next, we have one dud of a match, at least on paper, and it was kind of a squash anyway, is American Alpha against Breezango. And again, I like that they're establishing that if you attack American Alpha before the match, you stand a chance, because that's what Breezango did, like Ascension did before, and I think it was the Usos who did that before. And they won pretty easy, but the best part of that segment was the Usos. I love the new Usos with the hoodie that says like Day One-ish, I think. And basically they were in the crowd and they cut this great promo. Like they had this really good back and forth. It was like reminiscent of the Rock promo, but imagine if it was two-person and then they said funny things like, oh, you're gonna take your rental car, you're gonna go to that hotel, probably a 2-star hotel. That was funny. And at the end, I don't remember what they said, but it was like, oh, this is not paranoia, it's the Usos, and they cut the promo like that. That is, in my opinion, one of the best two-man promo I have seen in my entire life. Like, right now, I can't think of another one. I think this is probably better than anything the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn did, because they were not actually doing promos like that anyway. But that promo, the Usos, really good. And the promo they had at I forgot, I think it was last week when they were like in the dark somewhere, backstage, also a great promo. Good stuff. Even though we saw that before, the Usos against the American Alpha, but now this new vibe of the Usos, it gives a different like a different flavor to it. So you see how a gimmick can change, just a gimmick change. Same people, different gimmick on one side, and it's a whole different vibe. Perfect. You have another, next segment, you have another Battle Royal promo. AJ Styles, there's a random dude and he's screaming, you know where I'm going, you know where I'm going. And the guy's like, no, I'm going to WrestleMania. And then he's dancing around, you know, like, because he basically thinks he's going to win the Battle Royal, which we'll find out who won. Then you have Ziggler. Heel Ziggler right now, I'm not really feeling it. The slow promo. I'm going to be the winner of the Battle Royal. It's, no, bro. Bruh. No, it's not working. The next one was, you had Mojo. I like Mojo. I believe that at some point he's going to win the Intercontinental Championship. Unless it's Corbin against Ambrose at WrestleMania. But if it's like a multi-man match, I can see him win it. And Harper cut a promo as well. The next match, you had some promos you had some backstage promos with interviews with Natty and with Nikki. And they had a Falls Count Anywhere match. That was a great match. I think it was the best way to end their feud. And I like, from the beginning, Nikki just ran and tackled Natty. That was good. Like, you could feel the intensity in that match. They teased a lot of cool spots, like a suplex from the barricade in the crowd. You know it was not gonna happen, but I like how they teased it. And right after that, you had Nikki, who did a roundhouse kick off the barricade. That was pretty sweet. Another spot they teased was Natty trying to powerbombing Nikki on the announcing table, but she reversed it, and then she did an Alabama Slam on the table, which did not break. Now it's hard to tell if it was like it was planned or not, because sometimes the women, they might not want to break the table. Anyway, Nikki went for the pin, and she kicked out. Natty kicked out. Then they have a fight. They go backstage, and again, by pure coincidence, you have Maurice. She's just around for no damn reason. And I think Natty was kind of trying to throw Nikki somewhere. But anyway, Nikki ran into Maurice once again. But when she got up, oh my God, it was a nasty spot where Nikki just took Natty and threw her in the mirror, and the mirror just crashed. And the ref, he sold it perfectly, because he went for the 3 count. Natty kicked out, and the ref was like, oh my God. Like that, rarely you see selling like that by the ref, but it was a really cool spot. All in all, it was a really great match. And at the end, the way it ended, you had Nikki in the Fearless Lock. Actually, she reversed a sharpshooter. Then she was in the, she put Fearless Lock, the Fearless Lock on Natty. And Maurice comes out with a lead pipe, and she just started hitting Nikki Bella, and Natalya goes for the pin, and she wins. And now we know that, I think it's confirmed, that at WrestleMania we're going to have the mixed tag team match, because later on you're going to find out how it's going to be set up. So now you have this feud against Maurice and Nikki. So I can't wait to see where it's going to go. Probably going to end up in a mixed man title match. And also my prediction at WrestleMania, they're going to win. Cena and Nikki are going to win the match. And finally, John is going to propose to Nikki. I am sure about that. I said it the minute that rumor came out. And I am going to be right about it. So now he won. Now you have the Battle Royal. It was a great Battle Royal. I mean, WWE, they do like multi-man match so well. There were a lot of cool spots. I don't remember all the eliminations, but when it started to count, Apollo Crews eliminated Ziggler. But before that, Ziggler eliminated Kalisto. So you had Kalisto on the floor, Ziggler on the floor. Ziggler was pissed, and Apollo Crews was like talking shit to Ziggler. And meanwhile, Ziggler goes out, he takes a chair, and he just beat the shit out of Kalisto. And Mr. Savior, Apollo Crews, is distracted. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And Baron Corbin comes out and eliminates Apollo Crews. And Apollo Crews runs after Ziggler, and they fight. So that feud is gonna keep going on. But I don't know what Kalisto is doing. Really, he's just a victim in that. I don't know how they're gonna involve him in a triple threat. Maybe, maybe not. I like him to see turn and be like, I'm sick of being the victim and being having to be saved by Apollo Crews, and he just, you know, you could have like a 2 heel and a face. And I hope from that feud that Apollo Crews win, because he really needs it. Then there was a lot of great spot. Miz again taunting with the yes, yes. So the spot that you had I forgot who it was, but you had the guys in each corners, and the Miz did the Daniel Bryan drop kick in all 4 corners, and then you had Cena at the middle, and the Miz did the kicks, the Miz kick, the Bryan kick, and right when he's about to do the last one, Cena ducks, and Cena eliminates the Miz, which was something that will lead again to that feud with Nikki John and Maurice and Miz. After that, Ambrose eliminates Corbin, and Corbin is pissed because that's the second time he got eliminated from a match by Ambrose. The last time was Elimination Chamber, and Corbin pulls Ambrose from the ring, but below the 3rd rope, and he does a deep 6 on the floor. So Ambrose is out. And while this is happening, Miz comes back and eliminates John Cena, and Cena cannot believe it. And I like how, I think it was Mauro Ranallo who called out, "Oh my God, John Cena's not going to be in the main event of WrestleMania," and Cena cannot believe it. He tries to go back in the ring, but the ref are like, no, you're eliminated. And you have the Miz that just runs away in the crowd, and he goes like, "You can't see me, you can't see me." So I think it's official. It's really official. WrestleMania. Again, The Miz and Maurice against Nikki Bella and John Cena. A lot of people, when that rumor came out, were like, "Oh no, this is terrible. This is a waste of The Miz. This is a waste of John Cena." I think they have a rivalry from WrestleMania 2011. I forgot which one it was, but when The Rock was hosting, so they have a rivalry, The Miz and Cena. So and they had really great promos at the time. So I think the build up to this feud is going to be great, and I think the crowd's going to be into it. So now the remaining 3, you had Ambrose, Luke Harper, and AJ Styles. And they did a cool spot where they were all 3 on the apron, and they were fighting and kicking, and Ambrose got eliminated by Luke Harper. Then the last 2, Luke Harper and AJ Styles, they fight. They do a lot of fighting outside, like on the apron, around the corner, and they kind of botched the ending. What was supposed to happen, AJ Styles was supposed to do some kind of move, some kind of neck breaker, and they were supposed to both fall, and their feet should have touched the ground at the same time. But it was obvious, so obvious that AJ Styles' feet touched the floor first. But the ref was saying they touched the floor at the same time. They touched the floor at the same time. So, I'm sorry about that. So Daniel Bryan comes out, and he tried to have a caucus with the refs, and he's like, "Well, this is a draw." But again, it was a botch. I don't know why they scripted the spot that way, because it's a spot where it's so hard to pull off. I don't think it's AJ's fault. I don't really think it's Luke Harper's fault at the same time. But they're just not going to show the replay, and we're just going to have to assume that their both feet touch the floor. And Bryan says that next week they're going to determine who will be the #1 contender. And at the end, you have the Bray Wyatt and Orton, and you just laugh and they laugh. Or maybe they said something, I don't remember. So this was SmackDown for the episode of February 21st. I think it was a great show. Once again, SmackDown, every week there is something. They have something. It seems last week, triple threat for the title. And then they said, well, Orton's like, nah, I'm not going to fight, bruh. So they set up a number one contenders match, Battle Royal for this week. And then they kick off with a women title match. And then at the end, we have a draw. And they say, well, next week, we're going to find out who the number one contender is going to be. So every week, SmackDown is must-see TV. And Talking Smack, if you're not on the WWE Network, I don't know what you're doing. I don't work for WWE, but I have to tell you, you have to subscribe just to Talking Smack. I think it's the best show. And I think it's one of the shows that has the best rating, that in the NXT shows. So that's it for the recap, the review of SmackDown for February 21st. If you like this video, if you like my opinion, well, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. I talk about music, I talk about wrestling, I talk about, I'll eventually talk about video games. I like to talk about video games, and I just like to talk about random stuff. So please like and subscribe to this channel, and please leave your comments below. And that's it. This is just me. This has been Unabashedly Reggie. Thanks. It's been real.